3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Well, Heidi-ho, welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Dennis and Andy Show. We are here to entertain and enlighten the masses. That is our goal, that is our job, and we take it seriously because I'm an amazing dad.
You even wore the shirt to prove it.
Exactly. If you got a shirt that says amazing dad, you are an amazing dad. Whereas
Me?
Dennis is an Iron Maiden.
I am just plain Iron Maiden. Oh, yeah,
No.
It's Eddie in the Spitfire.
No. You are an Iron Maiden. Here's my question, though. Can you really wear an Iron Maiden shirt when your feet have Crocs on
Yeah, so we ran into a problem today. So I got new shoes to work out, and I always do my cardio, and then I do a half-hour stretching, and then I do the weightlifting and stuff like that with the personal trainer. And I got my brand new shoes. I'm like, all right, I'll just wear them this morning, break them a little bit, do it every day. Man, 15 minutes in, I ripped the entire skin off of both heels. So it's bad. It's bad. So I was literally had to take my shoes off at the gym. It was a rough day. It was a rough day. So yeah, I'm like, yep, nothing can touch my heels. I'm sitting there a bloody mess today. So I'm wearing Crocs.
It was funny. I had to do some work on the pool, and we have a deck, and I got a splinter in the bottom of my big toe. But it wasn't really annoying me. And then yesterday, it was annoying from the standpoint of it wasn't painful, but I knew it was there. Like when I walked, it was like, oh, yep, it's there.
Yep.
But no pain. It was just annoying. So let's just say I don't have the world's prettiest feet. I probably wouldn't be a foot model. And my wife wants nothing to do with my feet. Okay, I get that. I don't really know many women who want anything to do with any men's feet.
It is a thing.
Right. And then yesterday I'm like, oh, I got this wood splinter in the bottom of my big toe. I'm supposed you want to get it out. She's like, sure do. Goes upstairs because she gets to do a little surgery, basically.
Again,
I don't know.
It's a girl thing.
It's a girl thing.
It is.
She's like, yeah, oh yeah, hold on, I'll be right back. And she scampers upstairs. And
she's secretly hoping there's pus in there, so when she pulls it out, it goes. And because they love that. Now my daughter even goes and watches those videos, where they do it and they pop that.
Oh, Helen loves that show, Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yes.
I hate that show. It's disgusting. So yeah, she came down with these little tweezers and she's digging. And I'm like, oh, this is going to hurt. One, I was surprised. Did not hurt at all. And she was digging in there and she got it out. So,
wow.
Toe's much better.
Yeah. Well, we always can put some methylate on that or yeah. You know what methylate is?
No. Is it that old red stuff?
It is the old red stuff. Whenever you go
from the
get
80s.
Scraped up. Oh, yeah. 70s and 80s.
They still use that shit?
I know. You can find it. I just remember every time we had a gravel driveway, so you'd wipe out and you'd have gravel and you'd wipe the gravel off. You'd walk in, you'd be like, yo, Mom, look what I did. And she'd be like, oh, go wash it off. I'll get the methylate. And then she'd sit there and she'd pour it out there and it hurt. And and the only thing that helped it was if you blew on it. So you'd have to sit there and go, blow on it. And I'm like, and my dad would laugh. He goes, why are you blowing? She hasn't even put it on yet, but it'll help as soon as it does, because that stuff was painful. But we never got infections. That stuff was great.
I think in my neck of the woods, it was more on mine and my buddy's legs, like knees and stuff from wiping out on our bikes and whatnot.
Yeah.
So.
I do not have methylate anymore. Otherwise, I might have had to put it on there. But anyway, little blood today, so I'm wearing Crocs. So I give up a man point today for wearing my Crocs in because I can't wear shoes.
Yeah, those are not manly shoes, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're at least black.
Oh, Pop Culture's in the house. Good to see you. Just finished rocking out to the Sex Pistols.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Good stuff there. All right, so we're going to do what we always start off with, which is what did the boys get from
it's
the comic
Wednesday.
shop.
Woo! And it was a busy day. Previews came out today, so I not only had my stack, but of course I had to sit down and look through the Marvel and the indie previews, and I put out a lot of books on my.
I knew something was holding you up too, because my desk in my office where we're doing this looks right out a window to my driveway. And I'm like, he's a little later than he usually is. He's gabbing.
I was doing searching, but I still picked a bunch of books up. So let's hop to it.
Let's dive in. I only got 2 this week, so Dennis did the most. So here we go. It's an X book, which means it's a Dennis book.
It is, but it's Nimrod. And I absolutely love that cover. I picked up the Nimrod, I didn't even know if they had any other covers. That was the only one that was in my box, and it didn't matter. Nimrod was just a great one, going back to
What's up, Michael?
issue 1. Oh, Michael's in the house.
I just, I couldn't do it. It's a fill-in artist. I wasn't a big fan of it. I think I'm off the XMen train. I made it to issue 19.
That's pretty good.
That is for me.
Good. That is really good.
For me, that's really good. Yeah.
So cheers. Yeah. So we know I don't have it up in here because you've got the special cover.
Man, Michael looks like a mad Andy. I'll take that. Nimrod's a badass. So
he is a badass.
So yeah, I'll take that.
He is a badass. And then you got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I don't have the.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a cap.
Okay, so there's no screen cap of it, but I did get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #3, The Last Ronin. It's a little painful when it comes out because it's a $9 book, but the story's really good. I'm captivated by it, so I'm still buying it. I think it's only 4 issues anyhow, so it's all good.
Yeah.
No,
New Mutants. That's a Dennis book. Enough said.
It's a Dennis. Yeah, New Mutants. He'll buy it no matter what. Even if it blows, he'll just stop reading it and still buy it.
Well, so that brings up a point, because I saw in previews today Children of the Atom, which I'm not going to read anymore. And it said 6. So it's 6 issues, which is what I was hoping it was just going to be a finale. And then what did it wind up saying? It basically said, a goodbye, or is it? With like a question mark. And I'm like, if this damn title doesn't end at 6, I will probably be done if they try and push it any farther. I will quit my first X-Men title ever. So I'm giving it through 6. I still won't read it. But yeah, that kind of pissed me off.
What you have to do, Dennis, is this. If you stop buying it every week that it comes out, you take that $3 or $4, and you put it aside. And after a year, you'll have 4 times 12, whatever, $48, which you could apply towards a nice Silver Age book.
There is truth to that. There is truth to that.
Have you been reading Alien, or are you waiting?
Oh no, I've actually done a review. I'm gonna give kudos to Marvel on this one. That the team has done a solid job. I'm really liking what they're doing with the storyline. It's solid. And then Salvador doing the pencils. The art's fantastic. It's a good team up. Marvel's got a good team up on this book, so kudos.
And if you can see my mouse right here, look, I'm picking her nose. Boogies, alien boogies.
It'll automatically be picked when the tail's around the neck and goes in the
right. Exactly. Beta Ray Bill, you're still getting. Yeah, you weren't enthralled with it. You're sticking with it.
It's a mini series, so I'm gonna do it. It's a mini series, so I'll finish it. I like it well enough. I don't hate the book. I was hoping for more out of it, so I am a little disappointed. I will be doing a quick flip on it on the new ones. We'll see. We'll see if the story gets better. It's. Okay, if it was a full series, I would be out already.
Well, I can tell you this. As an editor, I would never have approved this as a cover.
Oh? No. Tell me why.
Well, I think it's lame. And I don't mind story covers, so I'm not saying it should have been a pinup. I don't like, one, there's a huge tangent. Everybody knows what a tangent is, right? Yes. Look at this. Look at this. Look, the line of his hammer for his his hammer,
Stormbreaker's
hammer, the handle goes right with his head. And honestly, if you connected this straight line and this straight line, you'd probably see a little part of it right here.
Oh, and look at that.
Even if you wouldn't, I would have drawn a little part of it and cheated it, because it looks like there's a carve taken out of the handle, which is actually Beta Ray's brow going down to the bridge of his long, snout, nose, whatever. But not only that, it's like, okay, he's fixing the hammer. Oh, look, he has his tools. Oh, look. I like the detail he put into it, and I could see this as a splash page. Still be a pretty lame splash page. But if you're going to use it as a big shot, fine, use it as a splash page. What would have been more of a striking cover? The freaking hammer plowed into the ground, broken into pieces. And that's it. Or maybe the hammer in the foreground. Maybe the hammer in the foreground, with just Beta Ray Bill's legs in the background as he's walking up to the pieces of it. This is just not an intriguing cover at all. I'm sorry. There's no way I would have approved that.
What I found interesting, and Michael brings up a good point. He says, I love Beta Ray Bill, but never took the storyline seriously.
No, I think when Simonson did it,
right.
I honestly took it pretty serious when Simonson did it.
But here's the question here's the reason why I had hope for this, was they sat down with the Simonsons and talked to them and got feedback and input about Beta Ray Bill going into this. So it sounded like they had a lot of feedback from them. So I'm thinking, oh, this could be a Simonson-esque type of thing. So that looked really interesting. And
what kind of weak ass hammer is this that it breaks? I mean, it's dumb. I'm not reading it. I'm just going by this cover, and like I said, there's no way I would have approved this as a cover.
Well, that's because you haven't been reading Thor, because this all took place in Thor, where they destroyed a Stormbreaker, and he's back to help out Asgard now, and they're not. He doesn't like the way things are going, and he's sad, and he really wants to be with Sif, but and he can't because he's really not the same.
You're putting me to sleep.
I know.
And honestly, as the editor, I would have, because there's no way this was sent in black and white. The pencils were probably sent in a sketch, something. The editor should have been like, hey, man, we got an issue right here that needs to be adjusted. That is just bad.
Well, obviously, they use electricity up in Asgard because you can see the power strip.
Oh, Heroes Reborn.
Oh my God, this is a wholly separate. So
we'll be talking about this.
We absolutely will be talking about this after the intro here, because I'm going to get the entire series. They wound up with the Magneto one today, but there was something really striking. So stay tuned for a few minutes because we're going to be talking about it.
Yep, and Pop Culture says, "You tell him, Andy. You're damn right." What are you going to do? Cancel me? I can tell you this is a tease for this. So I didn't buy issue 3 last week. I said I was off it because I'm not a fan of this rotating artist business they're doing. If you got a powerhouse like Ed McGuinness, I don't want to see him draw the first issue and then be regulated to 5-page backstories for the rest of the book, and then you have rotating artists for the main part. You have Ed draw the whole damn thing, and you have the guest artists do the back part. So I was off of it last week. I looked at this issue, and I'll say this much: if the lead artist grabbed me, I would have bought it and maybe bought last week's. Didn't buy it, and I won't even buy the trade paperback now. That's the tease for when we come back to talk about it.
We'll tell you about it in a little bit. Next. This is Magneto, and of course,
is this a spinoff from Heroes Reborn?
This is again a mini offshoot of it that they're doing. And I said I really didn't want to do any offshoots, but if they're going to have a tie with X-Men, I'm going to pick it up. So I was kind of upset, but I should have expected it. So I picked it up. I'm going to do a quick flip of this one also this week, so you guys can take a look at it, and we'll see if it's even going to be worthy of a review.
Well, here's one thing I noticed, because I did look through it. Bernard Chang drew it. Now, Bernard Chang was the artist that started in Children of the Atom. And then I saw in issue 3, how many issues are out? 3 or 4? Do you know?
3 so far.
3. Issue 3 of Children of the Atom was drawn by somebody else. I want to say Paco Diaz. Don't quote me on that. But my point is, it wasn't drawn by Bernard. And I'm like, are you kidding me? How much lead time did this book have that Bernard, they had to pull him off the book?
Well, that book was delayed for an entire year.
Right. And then I see that he's drawing this, and I'm like, I'm sorry, that's another misstep. Bernard started Children of the Atom. Dennis looked into previews. It's going to be at least 6 issues.
And the art was good.
Yeah, I think Bernard's a stellar artist.
The rest of the book sucked, but the art itself was good.
No, Bernard's awesome. So why isn't Bernard still drawing that? Instead, they pull him off and put him on this #1. Great for Bernard if it makes royalties. But then once again, you have that inconsistency in Children of the Atom by switching the artist on issue 3. So not a big fan of them doing that. I like the cover and I like the insides, but I'm just not, the whole Heroes Reborn thing. I wasn't going to buy the offshoots regardless. Or should I say irregardless?
It's a word now. It is.
What?
It made it into the dictionary
Get out of here.
in 2020.
Oh my God!
So my wife's argument about it has been nullified, which is great because now I will say it on top ad nauseum. Irregardless, it is now a word. Look it up.
That is ridiculous. What the hell is this world coming to?
Irregardless of what you think.
2 moons number. What are we on?
That's on 4.
4, nice.
Yeah, I'm going to do a quick flip of this one. This is the Civil War book, Supernatural book. Andy and I were on 2 different pages on this.
I'm just not so bored.
It's not his cup of tea.
No.
And I enjoyed what they had done with it, and I'll do it, and I'll get some feedback to see if you guys want me to do any full reviews of this one.
But I'll tell you this, that's a great cover.
That is a great cover.
Is a great cover.
Yeah.
You've got intrigue with the foreground, the hand all mauled looking and stuff. Very, nice diagonal composition to it with the hand and the horse shooting this way.
And you feel spirit that feels like he's going neigh, rearing up, and knowing that he's about to get clobbered.
Oh, yeah. This is a nice cover. I like this cover. So good job with that. Dune, of course. I'm a Dune movie guy. I've never got into the books, so
yeah. And Trades has been solid. It's been solid work. If you're a Dune fan, it is. I think that it's. I think they may have capped it at a 12-issue miniseries.
It is a great cover. It's dun, 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 dun,
yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. So anyway, if you're a Dune fan, these are definitely worth picking up. Definitely worth picking up.
How's this going so far, Chariot?
So Chariot, I like it. I mean, I am glad they're going to be able to wrap it up. I mean,
So it's 4 issues?
It's 5 issues.
Oh, it's 5. Okay.
This is number 3 of 5.
I might read them when they're all done.
Yeah, and I'm going to get them all. It's a good offshoot. Upshot this is a solid work for a small company. I really have enjoyed the story. I am definitely going to do a quick flip on this one. And what I may do is I've gotten some feedback that I may do like a couple of issues at a time, story-wise. I did a couple for like Maniac of New York, and I just did Radiant Black's full review and stuff like that. This has been a surprisingly fun book. I'm glad it's a 5-issue miniseries. I'd like to see how it ends and see if they do another one with it.
So I like this cover as well. I like the monochromatic of it with the oranges, and then the woman, I know she's like a ghost image being in that purplish. I think that's really cool. You focus right in on it. The big thing I have is I like the logo. I hate all this dead space.
Yeah.
And well, if you look at how much space is between this letter and the top, there's a lot. And all I'm saying is it looks too crunched together. I think if they just would have edged that logo up literally like a quarter of an inch, it would have gave more breathing room.
Yeah, well,
to the central image.
You see that you can see the reflection in the car.
I love the helicopters. I love.
So I get the feeling from this, and that's when I looked at it. I'm like, oh my god. Michael says it looks like Fast and Furious 29, and to a point, you can see the helicopters. And you see the clouds. They jumped off a freaking mountain, or they got into the air or something, and there's helicopters. They're airborne somehow, and I really want to know why they're airborne. Yeah. But it does feel like a Fast and Furious. But it would be Fast and Furious, but these would be prequels because this is all done in the 80s, and it's a good style.
Speaking of, Rob Liefeld saw Fast and Furious 9 last week in a special thing.
Yeah.
He said it's awesome.
Good.
So
good.
You got to like that franchise in the first place.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you don't like the franchise, you're not going to like it. But
awesome. Once Tokyo Drift went away, the rest of the franchise has been pretty solid.
Yeah. Summoners, is that how you say that?
Summoners
War Legacy.
I think I did the #1, and I don't game on this, and that's what it was based off of. But the art kind of intrigued me, so I grabbed the #1. There was only one issue in #2, and I debated on it. I went ahead and grabbed it anyway. I just kind of want to see where it goes. I don't think this is going to be a long-term book for me, but we're going to find out. I like to give it a little bit of breathing room and see if I'm going to enjoy this.
Give it a little bit of love. I get it. The Blue Flame is a new book. Dennis is going to hold it up, it looks like, so I'm going to full screen it real fast.
I actually went with the other cover this time around, Blue Flame. This is the B cover. This isn't one that I don't know. I was thinking, it sounds kind of interesting, but I did open it up, and I am definitely going to do a quick flip of this.
Man, I got to full screen again.
I'm going to see if I can find a good page in here.
I actually looked through it, and I almost got it. I think the art's actually kind of cool. I like the art style. I might wait for another issue or so and then give it a shot. Maybe I'll borrow Dennis's.
You see the team. Yeah, you can always borrow this. So I am definitely going to do a quick flip, and I know I'm going to do a full review of this one already. It's from Vault. So, again, it's another small publisher. And the story's the art's not overly cartoony, but it looks pretty interesting. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to give this one a shot.
I will say the cover you got, I thought the logo was hard to read. I think they covered up too much of the A and the L, because I was looking at it going, blue what?
Well, you could extrapolate it, but I do like the cover that we've got up on that, because you can actually see the flame in it. So right. I agree with you on that. But I just like seeing the entire team, even though it's a little more cartoony. I just kind of enjoyed seeing the whole team. So we'll find out.
Yeah, I kind of would like to have seen the guy that drew the inside of the book do that cover, because I like his work.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got next. We got I bounced one. We got Helm, Grey Castle.
Yeah, we also had talked about that one, and I went with a completely different
cover. Video game too, or RPG?
Yeah,
too?
And again, I don't play it, but the artwork and the storyline kind of intrigued me, and I did the quick flip, and I got a bunch of responses for it. I wound up getting the Virgin cover on this one, and if you guys can see it, it's solid. I mean, I love this cover. The regular one was neat. I went to mind at that one. But I saw that one, and I'm like, yep, definitely picking up this one. This is a really cool cover.
Dennis hasn't touched a Virgin in years. So whenever he can get a Virgin cover, he gets one.
Yes, and that is worth it.
So, yeah, that's cool. Let's see, Shadecraft #3, another Dennis one.
A good horror book. That one kind of, I did the quick flip of the earlier ones. This has been solid. If you guys like a little bit of horror and supernatural in it, this has been very interesting. The shadows that come to get you. Been a fun story. I hope it continues. It's built a little momentum. We're going to see how this goes. So I'm definitely going to do a flip on this one.
I don't know the writer, but the artist Lee Garbett. When I say no, I don't know him personally, but he started at DC. He's done stuff at Marvel. I think this is, because I've looked through this, I think this is some of his best work. I actually think he's more suited for this type of stuff than for superhero stuff. I hope he doesn't mind me saying that if he hears it, or he might disagree with me and go, "You shut up, Smith. I can do superheroes." But I like this stuff better. I think it's more up his alley with his art style than the superhero stuff is that he did at DC and Marvel. So I hope this is successful for him. Oh yeah, so that's it for this week's stuff, but I don't want to tease. Now we're just going to talk about some art. What can our fantastic viewers say is wrong with this? She's flying. That's not wrong. I'm not even being a dick and going, "Oh, she has small boobs." She has none. There are no. I mean, this is another cover that if I was the editor, I would have sent back to the artist and said, "Look, dude, you've got a unique style. Nothing wrong with that. I love all types of art styles. I don't mind the hard lighting he's doing. I mean, she's built. She's got abs for sure. You can see her thigh muscles indicated really well. You can see her abs, and she has no boobs at all."
Well, here's when I first,
what in the hell?
If I didn't see the Captain Marvel symbol right on her chest, when I first looked at that picture, minus that symbol, that looks very much like Icarus from the Eternals on the old covers from the first is it the first miniseries? Because it's red, the gloves, you can see him standing there. That looks like his blonde hair, basically. It looks like a face. And then when you look at the body, I mean, seriously, I would have thought without seeing the emblem, it was Icarus.
Well, here, just let me see if I can do this. Oh, well, I'll just hold it up there. There. You look at that, and you think it's a lean male figure flying. Tell me you don't think that. And I'm not purposely being mean. I don't know who this artist is, but I'm sorry if you cover up the head and you can't tell if it's a male or female, you failed. Eric McIntyre says they made Carol Danvers look like Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. Dude, they did.
They did. Give him a smoochy moochies. Give him the hat.
They don't want women looking like women.
Oh.
You hear that, and I just think I'd like to think that that's not true. But man, the evidence points to it being. I mean, I'm sorry that Kamala Khan, I think that's her name. Her face, she's cute. You can tell she's a girl.
She's a young girl.
She's got a cute face. But this looks like a male. Her face is pretty butch. And it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. It is ridiculous. If, the editor should have sent this back and said, make her face smoother. When you draw a female face, it's about smooth lines. When you draw
you know what makes sense? Maybe Carol Danvers took the page from Ellen Page's thing. Those are implants.
That's Elliot Page. Elliot Page has ab implants, and maybe Carol Danvers got some ab implants and did top surgery, because I'm sorry. I saw this and it breaks my heart. It really does. Especially, God, I don't have it queued up. I wish I had it queued up.
I know when I came up, Andy goes, just take a look at this picture. He didn't even say a word. He just pulled it up, and I went, oh. That's why my first reaction was, that looks like Icarus.
That's a guy. Let's just kill time and talk, because I definitely I do want to show something on the screen. So give me 1 second as I do my Googling search for it of a specific. Oh, why is my computer going slow.
Uh-oh.
I know. It's that type of day. I mean, it's not Monday, but it's close. Eric saying hi to Pop Culture Avenger. That's what we like to see. Let me just type something in here for this Google search.
Oh, we're going on a tangent. We're going on a tangent.
No, this has something to do with what we're talking about. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Just, get my stupid slow internet. For some reason,
oh my God, your internet, we're froze.
What the? Oh my God. Is it because I'm doing a search? Oh, this is ridiculous. All right, we're back.
All right. Yeah, we can't do it.
So I won't pull that. No, we can show it. Hold on. Right there. Let me pop the screen. Right there. I know it's small on the screen. Captain Marvel that looks like an attractive woman. Is it drawn by Terry Dodson? Yes. Is Terry Dodson known for his his portrayal of females? Yes. There's nothing wrong with that. It's cute. She's supposed to be an attractive woman. Look at that. That's Captain Marvel. This is not Captain Marvel. What in the Jesus are they doing? Brie Larson has a bigger rack than this, for God's sakes, and that's not saying much.
I'm telling you, I think Eric nailed it. That is Jay.
Yeah, this is Jay.
Jason Mewes.
Jay. It shouldn't be Kamala Khan wrapped around his neck. It should be freaking Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, wrapped around it.
So, needless to say, I agree. Andy wouldn't have let it go through. I was kind of aghast that when he actually pulled it back out and we saw it was actually from a Captain Marvel cover. Whoa, Marvel, you're just, well, so be it. If you can sell books that way, good for you.
Yeah, good for you. And once again, nothing against the artist, because as a freelance artist, we all make mistakes. We all do things that can look weird. And that's where you're supposed to have an editor that knows what the hell they're doing to say, hey, we need to make some adjustments here. This is what I'd like to see you do. And it's just not happening.
So we teased it. And we mentioned we were going to come back to it. So Andy didn't pick up Heroes Reborn issue number 3 because they changed the artist. I did a quick flip of it. I got some feedback from you guys. I will do a quick flip of number 4. Issue number 2, we loved. It was Dale Keown, and it was just an amazing issue. The story was good. I totally enjoyed that issue far more than I did the first one. So 3, again, I was back to being underwhelmed. But number 4, it was all going to be about Thanos. So, here's the cover. You have to make it big. So we're all excited, Thanos up there. Woo! What are they going to do? This looks kind of really exciting. So we want to see where the story was going to go. And I didn't even look at who the artist was. I didn't care because it was in my poll. As soon as we opened it up, Andy, actually, you've got...
1 second. Eric says, as far as art goes, like the lines in Anatomy, you can see they know how to draw, but this iteration is just weird. Exactly.
Yep. No argument.
Exactly.
Were you able to pull the first page?
No, I didn't get the
first
page.
So I'm just going to show you the first page.
Oops, I forgot.
So as soon as I opened it up, I was like, what the hell is that? I mean, I sat there and I was like, oh my God, that looks just like Orphan and the Five Beasts, which we've done full reviews of. We love that book. That is an interesting book. It's that martial art one that James Stokoe is doing everything for. So as soon as I opened it up, I was like, holy crap, that art looks just like Orphan and the Five Beasts. And then I flipped the next page, which is what Andy's showing now. And it is. I'm like, holy crap, that is just like James' art. So at that point, I'm like, why does this look so much like Orphan? Well, I went and looked. It is James Stokoe. So Marvel got him to do this.
And here's the thing. I think, Orphan and the Five Beasts, great looking book. We reviewed it. I talked from the art standpoint. I thought the art fit the story perfectly. I think James wrote it as well.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so
he did everything.
His art fit that story perfectly. It had kind of an anime manga type feel to it, plus this underground grungy type look. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
So Heroes Reborn comes out today. I didn't buy 3, but I thought, let me look at number 4. If number 4, the art it's going to be by somebody else, but if I dig it, maybe I'll get it and I'll go back and get issue 3. I open it up and I saw it was James's work. Once again, I like James's work, but using movie terms, and I hate this term, but editors started it about 20 years ago. Oh, we're not going to put you on this book because we don't think it's the proper casting. Okay, well, I'm going to use the term. I'm sorry, this is not proper casting. I'm glad James got the work. As a freelance artist, you're always chasing down work. Good for him for getting the work. But from an editorial standpoint, I'm sorry, this is such a departure from the previous 3 issues. It pulled me so far out of the story that I'm done.
Yep.
I didn't buy this. I'm not going to buy the trade paperback. I like consistency. If you're going to juggle artists on a book, you want to at least keep the art style similar. So there's some consistency to it and it's not jarring to the reader. This is so jarring to me that I was like, nope. Now if James was the artist from issue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, great. Then I know what to expect and I'm pulled into it. But you're putting out a weekly book and it's drawn by all these different guys. And then you get a guy that, I'm sorry, isn't really known for superhero stuff. And this is bad casting. I'm sorry. If somebody tells me, Andy, we don't think you would be good on Constantine, the book from Vertigo, because it's all, there's no big muscle guys in it, superhero stuff. So you would be bad casting for that. Well, this is bad casting for a superhero book. I'm sorry. This should be an Elseworlds, a Marvel book.
Yes.
Where it takes place. It could just be a limited series with James doing it, because then you'd have this consistency throughout the 4 issues. Oh.
Andy and I don't always agree, but I told you I love James and I gave full reviews on it. I love him in the Orphans book. It's a perfect fit for the 2 styles. The story mixed with his artwork were a great combination. Man, when I opened this up and I was like, oh my God, this looks like Orphans, and I started flipping through it, I was like Andy, I'm like, oh my God, this is horrid. And I don't mean it. I mean, but Andy called it jarring, and that's what it is. I'm like, after seeing McGinnis and then you got Keown and you're like, okay, this is really decent stuff. I was really looking forward to it, and all the goodwill that was just built up through the first few issues suddenly went away. And it's not that it's horrible art. It's just, this is so, you call it a departure.
It's too far out in left field.
Yeah.
It is so far out that it just pulls me from the story. And I don't want to hear any crap. Well, it's Dr. Spectrum. They're doing different things with Dr. Spectrum. So, like, oh, but look how we're doing his caption boxes and the Spectrum and stuff. Whatever. I get that. That's fine. But this art does not fit the story. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't. And like I said, I hope he keeps drawing Orphan and gets some other stuff for his style. But man, Marvel, I mean, there's just a bunch of missteps over the last couple of months.
Here's the other thing. Check that. You want to give this dude something? Give him a Rocket Groot miniseries. Because that Rocket and this Groot is pretty freaking cool. And this is more in the guy's wheelhouse. This, to me, if this was a book about Rocket Raccoon and Groot, standalone, not part of this story, but like issue 1 of a Rocket Raccoon Groot miniseries, I'd be like, oh, this is good casting.
Yes.
This is good stuff.
I agree.
But
we don't want to dwell on it, but let's just say we were shocked. Absolutely shocked at this. And like I said, I don't always look and see. if it's a new book, I'll pick up and flip through it when I'm at the shop. But this is one of my regular pull, so I didn't even look at it until I got here, and I was like, oh.
And then
wow.
I shocked him.
Yeah, it was
I said, you got to look at this. And he's like, what? And he looked at it, and he was just, wow. He was just wowzers.
I will continue to get it because I'm 4 into it. It's 7 issues. I'm just going to do it. But I'm telling you, it's already taken me out. So I'm a bit sad.
So moving on. I found this article I thought was pretty interesting. I'm actually going to read parts of it off of my phone because the screen that you guys will see is really far away from me. JJ Abrams' first Superman attempt was absolutely baffling. I never knew he had an attempt. I never knew to the point where I'm about to sneeze. So Dennis, take over while I sneeze.
Oh, don't sneeze, Andy.
Wait, it's gone.
Anyway, I'm still going to take over anyway because JJ Abrams, you either love him or hate him. He's had some really good stuff.
Cloverfield.
And is right. And Fringe.
Not so good.
No, Star Trek, not so good. The casting was great and stuff like that. He's Mr. Lens Flare. Star Wars, I think we can all kind of agree on that. I'm just going to take something and try and redo it. And he's been and for Warner Brothers to pay him that kind of money to move over there, we already knew his fingers were going to be involved, but this was kind of interesting.
So in 2002, young JJ Abrams was a hot screenwriter. Today, he's a major Hollywood director and Warner's choice to help oversee the contemporary DC cinematic universe. So they got a hold of a script for Superman Flyby. So I guess that was the name of it. Flyby. The leaked script from July 26, 2002 begins with what would seem to be a traditional Superman setup. We open in the middle of an action sequence as Ty Zor, a handsome Kryptonian wearing body armor, sort of a ninja's cloak, attacks Gotham City, blowing up skyscrapers with super breath. And then Superman appears already winded in his costume in tatters to continue the fight. And they show some production stills of what Superman might have looked like. So let me scroll down so you guys can see that stuff. There's 1 out of the 4 that I don't mind. This first one is kind of reminiscent of what they did do with Superman, where they lost the trunks. The S is pretty much on point, and the cape.
I don't mind the first one.
Yeah, I don't mind the first one. The second one actually gives me a Kingdom Come vibe.
Yes. It did to me too, especially, the cape and then how dark that is on there. It is very Kingdom Come reminiscent.
The third one is a little Kingdom Come as well. And then the fourth one, I just don't like how they had the cape coming off the S like that. But so moving on. So apparently that action sequence I talked about stops abruptly to make way for a flashback. And then a flashback is followed by even more flashbacks. And we finally find out that scene is more of the climax to the story. So apparently the first flashback is set 29 years ago on Krypton. Okay, that's, every Superman film, when you reboot it, you got to show some Krypton stuff. So it's on Krypton facing civil war between Jor-El and his evil brother, Kata Zor. I'm assuming that's somebody new. Jor-El and his wife Lara anticipate Kata Zor's arrival, sending their infant Kal to Earth in a transport capsule. So he's not headed to Earth because of an impending explosion on Krypton. Instead, the baby fulfills a vague prophecy, and his father is doing what he knows he's been fated to do. And then it says that Abrams describes the direction here, and I don't know about this, as a classic wartime documentary, handheld style, kind of like Cloverfield, except on Krypton. So,
but that would be the way JJ Abrams typically operates.
Right.
I'm not going to do anything original. I'm going to grab a piece from this and a piece from this and a piece from this. I'm going to put it together, throw some lens flares in it, and say, ta-da! Andy was reading this when I got over, and I'm like, I I'm bored to tears. My issue right now is the fact that they've given him reins. They paid him $500 million with the B dollars to take over and come up with new stuff, which is going to wind up affecting the comic books and then movies. And I'm really getting the bad feeling. JJ, he would be the guy to pull out that script and say, hey, remember that 2002 script I did? Yeah, here it is. Let's go with it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be what it is. And
well, I hope not.
I hope not to.
I'm not going to go through everything in this. This is on CBR if you want to read it. But for instance, at age 14, Clark discovers the costume. After he touches it, the Superman suit bursts out of a canister and the suit sucks his arm inside its sleeves. The suit wears Clark. It's a baggy fit, though. After he flies around and accidentally smashes their tractor, his parents reveal to Clark the truth about his past. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, you know, it's got some of the tropes in it. You know, Clark and his mom are getting mugged. You know, Martha, so he beats the mugger to a bloody pulp, apparently. You know, I got to admit, I'm glad this wasn't made.
I'm bored reading it, and I hope to God it's never made. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, while not being perfect, definitely puts this to shame. So, yeah, I'm not too...
the Snyder cut was good.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about what he's going to do. There was a couple things they pointed out, like fan service. Clark's college roommate is named Jerry Shuster.
Yeah,
so that's nice.
They always throw a few
nice.
little Easter eggs.
Let's see. Non-fan service. They say there's clearly an effort to hammer the Superman mythos into the fads of the day. Recasting Kryptonians as martial arts masters was an attempt to mimic the Matrix's success. Not quite sure about that. This is funny. The Just Weird. It's established that baby Superman's diaper has a hideous, inhuman smell. So what happens today when Clark uses the Daily Planet men's room? It's not going to get any better with age. Two guys sitting here can attest to that.
Especially after we've had Taco Bell.
That's right.
Yeah, so, let's just leave it at, I'm glad that's out there, but wow, that's just, yeah, that's a mess.
So one last thing before we go on to Army of the Dead.
Well, hold on.
Oh, wait.
Amazon. Oh. But it was breaking news today. Those of you who saw, Amazon snags Hollywood studio MGM for $8.45 billion.
Dude, Bezos is dropping $8.5 billion on MGM.
Yep.
That dude went from 20-some years ago working out of his garage, starting up Amazon, to buying MGM Studios. I mean, that is insane.
They're going to be adding a catalog of more than 4,000 films and 17,000 shows to Amazon's portfolio. Well, those of you that don't have Amazon Prime, you can see where some of the stuff's going to be.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They do have a new movie coming out. I saw the trailer today. It's Tomorrow War.
Yeah.
With Chris Pratt. It actually looks pretty good. The basic premise is 30 years in the future, these military people from the future come back to present day, and they have to recruit some people, present day, to help fight this war in the future.
Yeah.
So it actually looks pretty good. It drops on Amazon Prime July 2nd.
So what Prime's deal is right now is they're trying to compete with, Disney and Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
So the acquisition, which is Bezos' largest purchase since Whole Foods, follows AT&T Incorporated's $43 billion combination of the WarnerMedia division with Discovery Communications Incorporated, creating a streaming giant that will indeed compete with Walt Disney, Disney Plus, Netflix. Because they already have 175 million subscribers.
Yeah, Pop Culture apparently didn't know, because he's like, what?
Well, it was breaking news. You heard it first here, maybe.
That's right. There's no maybe. You heard it first here.
Now, at least what you're going to tell everybody.
That's right.
But yeah, so that is just big, big news. But the other issue that I'm seeing is now we're seeing the big couple of big players, they're acquiring all of the intellectual properties and rights, which means pretty soon we're going to be down to just a handful of choices. Once again, it's starting to feel like your local cable company. You're going to have one or two choices.
So that means no more physical copies of all that inventory. No, I'm sure there will be. Who knows?
I'm going to kind of go with pop culture on this. I think this is going to be the start of, we're going to start seeing all the physical, the 4Ks, the Blu-rays. You'll still be able to probably find some at Walmart or Target or wherever, but it's going to be purchase it now, rent it, purchase it, and that's what we're doing. Look at all the movies that during COVID we couldn't go see. They were being brought on there, and for 20 or 30 bucks, you can go rent them. Well, I'm not renting a movie for no 20 bucks. We just, that's why we went and saw Nobody while we couldn't the theater. If I'm going to spend 20 bucks, I want to go see it at the theater, even though I got a nice screen.
He does have a nice screen.
Yeah.
I use him for his screen.
We know, everybody does.
That's true.
It's not that, but it's back when I bought it, the 75-inch was a good size. Now today, there's bigger ones out there.
It's funny. We'll be like, "Hey Dennis, we'd like to watch this movie on your big screen," and he'll go, "Oh, we'll have to reschedule because I'm not going to be home." And then me and our mutual buddy look at each other and go, "Okay, leave the door unlocked. What do you need to be there for?"
I've been used.
Do you take that 75-inch screen with you? No, it's still on your wall. Leave us the keys.
Yeah.
You'll never know we were there, except your beer will be empty.
Yep. Then that is the reason why I don't leave my X-Men #1 at home.
But not the dark stuff, because we all know that beer's garbage and nobody will drink it.
That's right.
Okay, Army of the Dead. That's what you guys have been waiting for.
Right, not the comic stuff.
Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. Amazon made it clear you rent a movie from them, you don't own it.
Correct.
Bastards.
That's why all my purchases that I do digitally are Voodoo.
Yep. So Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder. The trailer looked good. I mean, it's not. If you do a trailer that's bad, Eternals, there's a problem.
Oh yeah.
So the trailer, I like zombie movies. Zack Snyder, Army of the Dead. You got Batista, other cool people in the cast. You had me. You had me at Hello. You had me at Army. So Friday night, I watched it. I think you watched it Saturday.
Yeah, I watched the following day.
You watched it the following day? No, wait. Did you, or did you watch it Friday?
Well, you watched it first.
I watched it Friday.
No, you're right. I did. I watched it late that night.
Yeah, because
but you had already seen it.
Right. So we watched it. We talked about it. You know, it's a Zack Snyder movie, so you kind of know thematically. I guess I just made it. Is that a word? I don't know.
Sure. Well, it's a new word. We'll add to the dictionary.
If irregardless is in the dictionary, thematically can be in the dictionary.
Or negaconnativity. By the way, this is an argument I'm having with my daughter. It's a word I made up. Negaconnativity, which means that it has a bad connotation to it. So all of you out there, we're going to make sure that negaconnativity becomes a real word.
Dude, you got to tweet stuff and hashtag negaconnativity to get
That's a good idea. I'll do that.
You got to get that hashtag.
There we go.
Just every day tweet something with negaconnativity.
Bam.
Get it going, and you'll have it in the dictionary.
That's why we do.
So anyhow, you can tell it's a Zack Snyder movie. Did it have plot holes? Yes. It was like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
A lot. You know, I mean, go ahead. I don't want to just talk about it.
Look, the movie itself, you know, this was going to be, remember, it was supposed to come out in the theaters, and then it got pushed back, and they released. Well, let's just say I am very glad that I didn't pay $15 to see it on an IMAX, because I would have definitely saw it on an IMAX, because I had that kind of expectations. It had good parts to it. The acting was fine. It was what you would have expected. We're always looking. I think we're all getting tired of zombie movies. So there's got to be something neat and different, something original that's going to pull you in. Unless you're Andy, who likes the same old thing every day.
I do not.
So this
peanut butter and jelly every day for lunch for 10 years is not unnormal. Just saying.
Yeah, that's not a word either. So all I'm going to say was it was okay. It was an okay movie. They did have a couple of really interesting twists to deal with the zombies, you know, because they actually have a hierarchy. They have our first zombie baby that was potentially birthed.
They supposedly these zombies had some, like Dennis said, they had a hierarchy. They had some sort of intelligence to them.
The Shamblers were the small ones, and they had like your alphas that were fast and intelligent.
I'll say that the male leader, the king, was built. So for a zombie who supposedly you're supposed to be decrepit and you're supposed to what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Come on.
What about being decrepit?
When a zombie first is birthed from being dead, they look basically like us. Let's say they were shot in the chest.
Okay.
And as they move on and time goes by,
they deteriorate.
So for a zombie that's supposed to deteriorate, that king zombie was buff. And then his queen, you could tell was hot under all that makeup, but she had a hot bod for a zombie. So I'm just like, okay, I don't know how long you guys have been dead.
She was hotter than Tig, the helicopter pilot.
She was hotter than Captain Marvel that we just showed.
Yes. Me personally, I thought it was horrible. Get more enjoyment from a B movie.
I mean, you're right.
I'm not going to disagree. I like the B movie.
I'm not going to disagree either. Shaun of the Dead, much better.
Oh my God,
much better. The old black and white zombie stuff, much better.
Yeah.
I will not disagree. Like Dennis brought up, Tig, what's her last name?
Tig Notaro. She's the digital helicopter pilot. So this was the interesting fact from this.
He told me this. I did not know this going into the movie.
The original comedian, the actor, Della, he had some sexual issues and he's kind of in trouble. So they needed him pulled. So what they did was they got her to take his place. They basically put on an entire green screen suit on her. So they green screened in everything, you know, the bodysuit, everything.
She didn't talk to any, she acted by herself.
Correct. So every scene that you see her on, she really wasn't there acting with anybody. She was in a green screen after the fact, going through, and so she acted really well because she did everything via green screen by herself after the fact. And you can see some of if you look close, you can tell there were definitely some issues. When the helicopter, she's getting shot, it goes forward. The conversation that she has as she's talking, some things just don't quite fit right. But overall, it was kind of an interesting thing that they did, and he spent a couple of $1 million to do that.
Why the hell did Safecracker push the door closed instead of pulling it closed? Got himself killed. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too. But let's be honest, as soon as we saw him do that, you know, he sacrificed himself. That's a nice little hero moment. You just knew that dude was going to get out of the safe. But kind of like, you know, Dennis and I were talking about, he climbs out of the safe into a freaking after effect of a nuclear bomb. He would have been toast.
The Geiger counter's like this. He's going to get the full absorption. He's going to live for a few days to a couple of weeks, maybe. Right. He's already a dead man, even though he didn't already get bit, because we already knew he was going to get bit.
Oh, yeah, you knew that.
I mean, the one thing that I can say was there weren't a lot of big surprises. This was a straightforward, very predictable zombie movie with okay acting.
Yeah. What was better, Army of the Dead, Toxic Avenger?
Oh! I have a thing for Toxic Avenger, so I would lean to Toxic Avenger just because Trauma is the bomb.
I've only seen the movie once, but I would say Toxic Avenger. Dude, Pop Culture Avenger, you nailed it. I told Dennis, I said, and he agrees, Toxic Avenger. I told Dennis that one of my favorite scenes was the zombie tiger mauling the bad guy. And because here's one of the reasons I like these movies. I love special effects. Just like magic tricks, I like to see how things were done. I love seeing how special effects are done, especially practical effects, like on the guy that got mauled. All that stuff you could tell was practical. makeup effects. And when that tiger just chomped his face off, man, I was like, oh, that is awesome.
And I wanted to know, is that Siegfried or Roy's tiger? Roy's tiger. That's who I want to know is which tiger it was, because it's Vegas. It's got to be one of the two tigers. I really can't wait to. I was really hoping that was going to be the pivotal question we could ask, because that would have been more exciting than a lot of the other things that happened in the movie.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, here's the thing. I watched it. He watched it. Pop Culture said he watched it. Michael, I don't know if you watched it or not. It doesn't sound like you did. Eric, I don't know if you watched it, but my point is this. A lot of people still watched it. I only know one person that I read online that said, and I disagree with this, that during the credits, he thought it was so bad he turned it off, where I thought during the credits it was pretty cool. So, you know, we all can sit here and bag on it, but a lot of people watched it. Let's see if we can get a tomato score.
Yeah, I'm curious now that because we didn't really talk about our scores. Why don't you give them your CGC score? I'm going to see if
that's right. We saved it because we talked about it over the weekend and we said, let's save the scores. My score on it is a flat 7. I give it a 7 out of 10. You know, I don't mind doing it. Michael has not watched it yet. Michael, I'll be honest, I would still watch it if you have Netflix. It is 2.5 hours long. Now, for me, this is where Dennis and I disagree too. For me, when I saw 2.5 hours, I was like, ugh. When it was over, I didn't think it felt like it was 2.5 hours long.
For me, I was like, God, let this be over. It wasn't horrible, but if you want an interesting zombie movie with an interesting take, Warm Bodies.
Oh my God, Warm Bodies. That's the romantic one.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, Warm Bodies. Oh my God, it's a Valentine's Day movie.
That wound up being an interesting movie.
Oh my God, Warm Bodies came out, I believe, on Valentine's Day, whatever year it came out. Oh, that was such a good movie.
It was a fun take on a zombie movie, and the way that they did it,
and it had
it was unique. Again, my CGC score, I'm giving it a 6.
He says it. Michael agrees. Warm Bodies is great.
See, you saw it too.
After 10 beers, after 10 beers, I'd be asleep. That's why I
definitely drink some beer before you do it. Absolutely.
So you give it a 6.
I'm giving it a 6. If I would have paid money to see it in the theater, I would have been super disappointed. Being a 2.5 hour movie, I'm still a little disappointed that I wasted 2.5 hours, but it wasn't so awful when there were some redeeming things that I liked about it. I've seen it once. I will never own it. Like World War Z, I will never own that.
You know,
I've seen it. I'm good. Well, we'll find out.
Here's one thing I really enjoyed about it. In the beginning, when Las Vegas was being taken over by zombies, I got to see titties. So I got to see bare boobies from the showgirls, zombie showgirls that were just killed, so they weren't all nasty looking. And they're running around chasing people down with their boobages flying around. So that is something I enjoyed because I am a teenager.
This is one thing. The one thing I will say, my highlight for the entire thing, other than the tiger, was the intro. The intro was fun because you got to see everything happening in slow motion and in little scenes, and bad things happening, but done in such an interesting storytelling way, kind of like Better Movie, Army of the Dead, or Goonies Andy.
Army of the Dead.
Not a chance.
Army of the
It's
Dead.
not even close.
You could set out a DVD in front of me of both movies, and I will pick Army of the Dead and rewatch it before I watch Goonies.
Oh, disgusting.
I've never seen Goonies all the way through. I will never see it all the way through.
Oh my God, you're missing something.
I will watch Army of the Dead over E.T. as well.
Oh my God. So the parachute guy, the paratroopers coming down, and you see him, and he's shooting, and he already knows I'm dead. I've got 8 or 9 shots. That's it. And then as soon as that, you see the parachute come down, and you're waiting for the blood. Oh, there's the blood squirt. But you know, they're trying to escape. They're shooting everybody, and the big crane basically drops the final crates. squishing everything.
Tanner,
The special effects were good. The intro scene was the highlight of the movie. I thought that was going to set this as a tone for an incredibly different movie, but that was the extent of how different it was. It had a few things. I'm going to pull up the tomato score here. It looks like Pop Culture says it's a 3 out of 10, so he really didn't like the movie. So I didn't hate it, but it was kind of boring. The critics gave it a 69%, which isn't horrible for the critics.
I mean, that's what I gave it. I gave it a 7. So
yeah,
that's basically 70%.
And the audience gave it a 76. So the audience
7.5.
They obviously liked it a little better than I did, and way more than Pop Culture did.
Yeah. So there it is. Next week, maybe Sunday, we'll be seeing A Quiet Place.
I know Quiet Place 2 came out. He's going to be gone for the weekend. My family's still in town because my son's going to be leaving. So, unfortunately, guys, no Friday. We're going to have to skip Friday, so we're so sorry.
Yeah, no Friday show this week. But you know what? It's a nice Memorial Day weekend. We'll decide.
Wild Stallions.
I haven't lined anybody up for Monday yet. Monday's Memorial Day. Just stay tuned. We'll let you know via social media. And if you like and subscribe to our channel, notification bell, you'll know if there's a show on Monday. Don't worry, we'll tweet it and keep you guys updated.
And plus, I'm going to tweet out Negaconnativity, so this becomes a new word in
That's
the
right.
English.
Got a hashtag Negaconnativity. And we will see you guys maybe on Monday, definitely not Friday. And of course, you're welcome. Thank you for today's show. We are here to please. My shirt. All right, you'll be getting your shirt soon. Fantastic.
Oh, Michael ordered his Dennis and Andy shirt.
That's right. So, First Man in demand. If you haven't bought it, there's a link in the description below. You can also sign up for First Man 2 to get 10% off when I launch that one in June. If you want to buy a Dennis and Andy Show t-shirt, link is in the description.
And you guys can always find us on Facebook, and make sure you, if you want us to talk about a particular comic topic or movie or whatever, shoot us ideas. We love getting ideas from you guys and what you guys want to tune in for. So
that's right.
Talk to us. We aim to please.
Yep. So until next time, thanks for joining us. We're going to get some food. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Oh, computer's working nice and slow.
Wow, it really is.
I know. Look at that. I'm trying to hit the end.